welcome to another episode of 6 Degrees of Associations. Once again, we're pretty excited to be able to welcome a guest pretty quickly after we had the person who referred them onto the show. And we're kind of excited here to talk with John Perez with Unified Payments. But first, let me just welcome everybody to the show. So Lucas, good to see you again.
Thank you, Erin. Good to be here.
Yeah, of course. And John, welcome. Thank you for being a part of the show today.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you, Lucas. It's great to join you.
Of course. So CEO of Unified Payments, we heard Dan just talk all sunshine and rainbows about the work that you were able to do with North American wholesale distributors. And it was really exciting to us especially because of some of the work that Core Affinity does, which is, a lot of this sort of brokering between organizations like yours that can really benefit from relationship with organizations like member organizations like NAW. And I'm just curious because I think that was one of your first forays into working with a trade association as Unified Payments. Can you just talk to us a little bit about how you went in to work with that organization and what were some of the benefits that you really drew from working with a member organization like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to do it. Yeah, we were established in 2017 and we really spent the better part of 3 years understanding really all of the needs as broadly and as specifically as we could, vertical to vertical within the wholesaler distributor world with the direct members of the NAW. And, really as a company, we understand that if we're solving for the pain points for our customers, for our prospects, we're probably going to have a very healthy relationship with our clients. And so really we started our tech build from their seat going forward to their customers. And that's really what we've been about to make sure that we bring as many efficiencies, be they operational or cost, to bear. And really the NAW for us has been a tremendous relationship in helping that communication kind of going forward. So yeah, it's
kudos to you, John, for jumping in the deep end. You didn't start with the Iowa Towel Makers Association. You went big, which is great. How did you make that relationship? And then tell us a little bit about how you started to make this successful and sort of the players that you had to meet at a high level in order to understand what's going on and how can we make this a real relationship, a real partnership, and sort of start the path to success.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the good news for us is that our executive leadership, our chairman and our president, who were the co-founders of the company, had a long history with other companies that they had worked with and created with the NAW. So there was a broad understanding of the developing needs that wholesaler distributors were speaking to in this time. And so from that standpoint, we understood that, basically back office efficiencies just weren't being created, weren't being realized at a good number of the direct members of the National Association of Wholesaler Distributors. So we pretty much had a nice head start, if you will, for people that were eager and anxious to tell us their pain points and see how we could solve for them. And so once we understood that roadmap versus our tech stack that we had, we basically just plugged all of those needs into our modular cloud-based tech stack and kind of went forward. And so really now, if you kind of take a look at where we are today in 2022, a lot of the things that are necessities brought about by the pandemic of being able to work from anywhere, send invoices anywhere through multiple different manners and take the paper out of the environment as much as possible. That's kind of where we are, but we had a big head start, almost as if, we knew that those changes were going to be forced upon everybody. So, that's really how we kind of tackled it. And, obviously our willing partners that engaged in conversation and that we do business with are bearing the fruits of our relationship with the NAW.
Yeah. Well, so what I heard you say at the beginning, which is really pinnacle leadership, was to listen. And really the guidance that we would give to any association is listen to your members. Find out what their pain points are, and you responded accordingly. And what I heard a little bit in the pre-show is that you took it to a different level. Let's not just respond to the members directly, but there's an opportunity to work with others in the industry and find levels of implementation and even integration. And I'd love to hear a little bit more and share with our audience How did you do that? What did it look like? And what were the benefits ultimately?
Yeah, sure. So the conversations, the pain points experienced by companies, with trying to gain efficiencies, and the reason why they're, you've got IT relationships on all sides of every equation, and so being an ex-banker, there's all sorts of IT teams or whatnot, and everything's basically needs to run for the bank's own business, right?
Right.
The IT group within our customer set, they've got a business to maintain as well. And so those windows of opportunity for integration, trying to marry those two, get pretty narrow pretty quickly, given quarter ends and year ends and things of that nature. So we understood that to come to market efficiently and effectively, we had to have a tech stack that our customer's IT team really doesn't have to do a whole lot of work, that it can be fully integrated. Ours, you can integrate in under half an hour, which is awesome for our customers' IT team. But once all that is done, you're really down to testing and training, and then working with our customers' back office on communication points to their customers. And so if you really have that level of hand-holding the whole way through, the integration's really kind of the least of it. And I think that's really kind of the secret sauce, if you will, for any effective integration. The quicker you can get that tech stack in there and as painless as possible, that's where you need to be.
It sounds so simple, right? When you say it that way. We work with so many affinity programs, and the larger they are, you start to lose some of that nimbleness, like what you're saying it takes. And on the association side, the impetus is typically, well, let's go find the 3 largest suppliers, autonomous of industry. Let's find the biggest credit card processing. Let's find the biggest shipping companies. Let's find the biggest fill in the blank. And we really want to work with them because the implication is, well, they're the best, right? But being the biggest and baddest may not always be the right answer to say they're the best for our members, right? So what you've done is taken the approach of, I can be the best. I need to learn a little bit more about your members, some of which you said you had a head start, which is great. But there's actually benefit in the nimbleness to say, I'll go and work with somebody else, where I just can't tell you how many times that's not going to happen with the larger companies. They're not going to come in and be nimble enough and mold around your vertical, mold around your members. They're going to come in and tell you, here's what we have, take it or leave it. And we think it's good because clearly we've gotten this big. It must be the best, right?
Yeah, we try to represent, you're 100% right. And we try to represent the absolute opposite of that. Our customers know our staff on a first name basis, and vice versa. And being small and being nimble also allows us the possibility of kind of like designing our solution to have it their way. What is your specific need? And so we can tell the differences, between some wholesaler distributor verticals and how they actually get paid back, and the pain points that they have in applying those payments. And we can kind of help design to take care of that automatically to their wishes. So the other thing that we do is we spend a lot of time on customer education and communication of things that are going on in the industry, because these companies in executive management, they're busy enough over the past couple of years, and now there are opportunities that are afforded those that have gotten some efficiencies through. We don't expect them to be payment experts. That's kind of our job. And we take that upon ourselves to make as many resources as available so that they understand what's going on in the B2B payments industry, soup to nuts.
What I really love about this, and being a little bit on the outside of Core Affinity's core business and what you do, but having been in business development and looking at marketing and all these types of things, again, this connection. Admittedly, before I met Lucas, I thought of affinity marketing programs as like, make sure Hertz can give your employees discounts, right? Or make sure that your members can get discounts different places. But what I really loved about the conversation with Dan, and what I love about what Lucas and Core Affinity are doing and what you're saying, is this idea that associations really have a role to play within their own industries. Dan really felt a responsibility to make sure that he was providing beneficial benefits back to his members in an area of their business that helped them grow. And so I'm just curious, you know, do you have targets on other industries that you're looking forward to really starting to get to know better the way that you got to know wholesale and distributors? Has this opened your eyes to other opportunities of ways in which you can sort of dive in through that type of expertise and specialization in industries one at a time and really help an entire network of individuals and members?
Yes, there are other industries that we take a look at, and we, you know, we listen for pain points, and we do a lot of reading, and, you know, as well. One of the other things to hear you kind of go down that talk track that has been really kind of refreshing, almost in line with the associations, is the roles that some of our customers play within their associations to lift each other up around the country really has been awesome. And so, you know, the dissemination of best practices, but from our standpoint going forward, yeah, we pay attention to industries that like wholesaler distributors are looking for efficiencies the whole way through. So, you know, a lot of paper, a lot of reconciliation, you know, how are those payments happening? You know, again, having come from the banking industry, I've always known that, you know, one of the cheapest sources of getting paid was through ACH. Well, come to find out, our wholesaler distributors, you know, you want to see somebody push back from the table, start talking about ACH.
Yeah.
And the reason is because they then have to get on the bank system and you know, pull down the information. It's not very clean. We basically make the e-check system, which runs on the ACH rails, and we do all the reconciliation for them on everything that's being paid back. So yeah, we do pay a lot of attention to other industries where we think that there are pain points going on. So, as well as other markets like Canada, where we'll have some news here shortly.
So what are some of the other benefits that we could pick at, John? So you're taking it to the next level of integration, customization sort of for an industry. You know, typically the talk track is, you know, what's the baseline savings, hard dollar number to my member? But what I've heard you say through our conversation is there's other benefits to tackling it this way, not just throwing out, here's the savings number, but this can impact other parts of the actual business, which as a business owner is more impactful in a lot of ways. If I can cost save here and save efficiency here, look at the bigger picture, that's a better benefit, right?
Correct. And on that point, so the bigger picture points for us is that we see about 90% of all invoices being paid electronically if they're delivered electronically, which is fantastic, right? We also see if things are going kind of through in a paper environment, but you make getting paid easier, we see about a 60% number of payment migration by type away from check to electronic means. And then when you actually then peel it back down to the bottom line, on average, if companies are going in a compliant surcharge processing manner for credit card payments, we see about 2.78% in bottom line lift, which is phenomenal. Yeah. And all of those things together kind of tie back to a phenomenal quote that I think I'm gonna have put in bronze somewhere. But basically, the talk track was, over the past couple of years, you don't have to be very good to show top line growth. You do have to be exceptional in today's environment to show bottom line growth, given all of the inflation and scarcity of resources and inventory. Right. So if you can make all those things kind of marry up, you do have some opportunities going forward to grow and expand, where others are kind of chasing their tail maybe a little bit and not making as much money as they would like to.
Well, all of those efficiencies that you create through the integrations lead to better utilization of human capital. You can reallocate it to move more top line, or you can reduce. All lead to what you were suggesting, which is a better bottom line.
Yeah, we see a lot of M&A going on in our portfolio, and I think it's because people have saved money and they realize they can be more efficient going forward after other markets and expansion. So it's been really fun to see.
Better margins, better value, right?
That's right. That's right.
I love this. I know that now I can see Lucas's gears are turning in his head, and I see you're turning, and this is like an A and B conversation. I'm going to see my way out of it, right? Because I can feel there's some good business discussions that are going to come out of this. But But as usual, I'm the timekeeper. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up for this particular episode. But John, what a delight having you here. And just a really great opportunity to explore this area of the association business. And again, I say it every episode, but I'm always surprised how we have really not crossed over topics, right, Lucas? I mean, we just continue to kind of have someone come in and we're like, where's this going to go? And it always just ends up in a great place where we're able to explore just another area of the business that is exciting. So thank you so much for being here and bringing your expertise in this way.
Yeah, thank you, John. It was an excellent opportunity to not only highlight Unified and what they've been able to do with NAW, but also give some associations something to chew on and think about with regard to how they look at their partners, how they could bring in and provide better benefits, I'll say it, through thinking through these things like integration, implementation, and partner strategy within their own industry.
Yeah. It's awesome. Well, John, we end every episode asking our current guest if they have an idea of someone that maybe we could benefit talking to next. So do you have someone on top of mind that you think we should reach out to and have on the show next?
Yeah, I really, from, understanding the seat of, our client, but somebody that's very progressive and looking for efficiencies, I think you'd do really well in a service for your audience by talking to Pete Krobach, who is the CFO at Duncan Parnell down in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
And one of the things that's been great about working with Pete is understanding all the time commitment that they put into their associations, kind of spreading the good word on best practices. And it's a constant effort, and he's highly involved. So I think you'd enjoy that conversation the whole way around.
Excellent.
Awesome. We love that. Well, again, thank you so much, John, for being here. Lucas, great to see you again. And thank you, everyone, for logging in and watching another episode of 6 Degrees of Associations. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks. Thanks.